Greetings and welcome. Welcome to the BIZ Info Zone, where you are in the zone. And here is where we share the information, the business information, tools, tricks, strategies that help you to live your purpose, plan your next moves, and move into an area of abundance and prosperity. This show is for the savvy social entrepreneur who is ready to take those steps. And with this relevant information that we're bringing to you today and every week, we're here for you. On the show, we have amazing guests who want to share their information, share what it is that they do,
This information, tools, tricks,
and how
strategies that help
they
you
can help
to
you.
live your purpose.
All right, now that we've got that covered, so that happens automatically. I'll have to remember that. I want to keep the event page open, and it automatically turns on the video if and when I'm in there. So I'll have to make sure that I watch that. Okay, back to our show here. I've got an amazing guest for you today who is all about helping you to express you. And to do that, our guest today, Wendy WAKOO Jones, and you'll understand in a minute why I'm calling her WAKOO, but she is a coach, she's a spiritual guide, a healer, and the creator of the WAKOO. And she's going to share why your money judgments are keeping you from realizing the abundant flow into your life and your business. So if you want more clients, you want more money flowing into your life, want more money flowing into your business, I am so glad that you've joined us for this special BIZ Info Zone show today. Let me tell you a little bit about Wendy. She and I met not too very long ago, and she totally impressed me. She is the kind of individual that you want to connect with, because what it is that she has to share with you, for you, is actually going to take you to another level in your business and your life. Wendy has over 25 years professionally helping individuals from all walks of life deal with drama and trauma and limits in their lives. And after assisting countless individuals deal with the symptoms of bureaucracy, she stepped outside of the conventional realms of assistance, and she pursued coaching and spiritual healing and relaxation as opportunities for healing. Wendy's supercharged combinations result in fast and effective changes for individuals searching to improve their lives. Wendy's she's done a lifetime of helping other people, naturally led to WAKOO. And I'll let her explain that for you or to you. But she's our guide. She's going to be our guide today to compassionately connecting us to our truth and opening you to unlimited opportunities. Welcome, Wendy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, removing money judgments and the whole spiritual connection, all of this is something that I'm very passionate about. You know, I tell the story myself just really quickly about how when I was first walking in the light of my nickname, the Money Girl, I was the money girl who had no money. And, you know, times of struggle with the economy and how people perceive themselves, either personally or within structures like, if the economy is this, then I'm this. You know, is really something that I am adamant about getting this kind of a message out, because it is this kind of a message in this work that has truly helped me to move out of that space of lack and limitation. And what we want to do is open the flow of abundance to your business and your life. So I really want to welcome you here today. And I'd love for you to start out by just telling our audience a little bit about your story and how you got on this journey of teaching energy and higher consciousness and money and how it all relates to each other.
Absolutely. My journey actually began around birth because I grew up helping and assisting others, which often meant listening without judgments. I studied sociology and philosophy in college, and upon graduating, I went to work with psychiatric and chemical dependency area, and I helped individuals there for years. And then I moved on to help individuals with their employment challenges and help them maintain employment. And I finished off with the job career as with working with financial issues, helping individuals work through that. My journey has polished my gift of compassionately stepping into any situation, assessing the situation, and opening that situation to opportunities in a loving manner. My journey led me to create WAKOO, which you've mentioned. WAKOO stands for Wisdom and Knowledge Open Opportunities. WAKOO in and of itself is an energetic boost. Yeah, go ahead, test it out. Sit back and say WAKOO. Say it a couple more times and see if you don't end up smiling.
WAKOO.
Just kind of puts the smile there without any of us working at it. Our power is in our truth. Our truth leads us to our knowledge. And the combination of our truth and knowledge bring us to wisdom. And our wisdom opens our opportunities, allowing us to choose the life we live instead of trapping ourselves. I live life connected to divine higher consciousness, allowing me to teach WAKOO and assist others along this journey called life, one step at a time.
Wow, that's beautiful. And as I mentioned, the WAKOO is truly something that you want to become aware of and familiar with. And Wendy, remind us again, what is the WAKOO?
WAKOO is wisdom and knowledge, open opportunities.
Wow. Well, during our time together, let's just remember there's no wrong answers, and I want everyone to know that as Wendy is sharing with us, this is going to be pretty interactive. And she's going to be sharing some things, and your participation is going to be key. So as you're participating, if you can go to the event page, and or if you're viewing this in your email, go to the bottom of the email where the comment boxes are and make sure that you leave a comment. First of all, you can tell us who you are and where you're hanging out from. And then if you have anything to add, anything to say, any questions come up, be sure to put them in that comment box. And I will be monitoring them, and we'll go from there, okay? Wendy, take us to the next step of explaining how you kind of get to the space and you decide that where you are isn't where you want to be. And you do see the space in front of you that is the dream that you've created for your future. Tell us, your thing about how to get from here to there.
Well, one of the first steps is that for me, judgments are masks because a judgment limits us and confines us. And if you've ever watched an actor put a mask on, they limit and confine who they really are. So for most of the time, I will refer to a judgment as a mask that we have chosen to wear, because we do choose to wear it, even if we're doing it without being aware of having it on. I want to repeat what Lynn just said, that during our time together, there are no wrong answers. There are no right answers. It's whatever you feel, because that's what's going to connect you to identifying the mask and removing the mask. To start with, grab a pen and paper. If you don't want to put it in the comments box, that's okay. And let's imagine that you are in your office or at home listening to the BIZ Info Zone show, and there is a knock on your door. You get up and walk to the door, wondering who's on the other side. You open the door to see a rather short lady in blue jeans and a bright green t-shirt. She hands you a box and says, "Here is $1 million for you." Write down the first thing that comes to your mind, and then write down the next thing that comes to your mind. Write down what you say to the lady. Okay, again, write down the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear, "Here is $1 million for you." And if there are thoughts following that first thought, write those down too. And then write down what you say to the lady. Now hang on to your responses, because we're going to revisit them as we talk. Our judgments limit us in ways that we may know and in unknown ways. The masks that we choose to accept act like glass ceilings, stopping us from going above and beyond. In our discussion, again, I will be using the term mask to identify judgments. Masks, like judgment, limit us from being our abundant self. 5 things you must do to open the flow of abundance. First is become aware. Second is to acknowledge what you're aware of. Third is to choose. Fourth is to open opportunities. And the 5th one is actually to repeat the process. Now let's go just a little bit deeper. I say become aware. How do we do that? Well, the exercise we just did might help us become aware of some of the judgments and the masks that we use. Everyone has masks surrounding money. And the masks are negative or haven't quite surfaced for you. If they've not surfaced and come up, take the time to become aware that masks do exist. And once you're aware they exist, you will start to identify some. When we acknowledge that the mask is there, that's all you're doing. You're saying, okay, this mask is here. And it means you can identify that in some places you have chosen to wear the mask and that you'd like to remove that mask by identifying a new belief system that supports who you want to be and where you want to go in life. And then you get to choose. You make the decision. So it's stepping outside of that mask that confines us and finding that there are choices available. When we open the opportunities, we open it to giving the gift of having another opportunity to choose. We open up to see the possibilities, which helps us then further decide where our life might go. More time and more commitment, and you dive to different layers of the belief system, and you continue to open opportunities and the abundance within your life. And repeat is very simple. When you find a mask and you identify it, you become aware of it and you go through the steps to release that. Questions?
Wow. Yes. Yes and no. I love these 5 things to open the flow. Oh my gosh, becoming aware. You know, a lot of people talk about awareness in a lot of ways, but when you come into the light of knowledge, you become aware at a deeper level. And I think, and I know that you teach this too, a lot of what you allow yourself to release is because you're aware that when it surfaces and you're coming from your heart, you're going through your heart, you can release it. Talk to us a little more about how the heart impacts awareness.
Our heart guides us as well as impacting the awareness. Again, once you're aware of it, it's not to judge that you've had that mask on. It's to say, okay, is this mask benefiting me? And more times than not, that answer is going to be no. Because any time that we limit ourselves, we're limiting our heart, we're caging the heart in, and we're not extending the love that we have and the light that we have for the people we come in contact with. So becoming aware is a positive. Doesn't matter how many masks you find, doesn't matter how you might have looked at them as being bad or negative or awful before. Identify them as an interesting point of view and then move forward to releasing that. And sometimes it's as simple as saying, okay, I love this about me, I accept this about me, and I thank you because you're with me. And that will allow us to move forward with it.
That's beautiful. I love how you brought that back to center, because I think the heart plays into every one of the 5 things that you talked about. And when I think about acknowledgement, how is it that we bring judgment into it? And how is it that we release the judgment, but from the heart? And I really love the way that you said that, the goal of acknowledging the mask is to remove it. And in removing it, it takes the heart to allow you to do that. So, realizing that, tell us how you go from acknowledging and releasing that judgment from the heart and choosing something else instead.
One of the simplest ways is to actually reverse what you would normally say. If you want to go with money and you look at something and you go, I can't have it, meaning you don't have the money right now, what if you looked at it and you said, is this the most beneficial for me at this point? There's a good chance that you would learn the answer is no. And therefore, it's not about the money, whether it's there or not there. It's about you choosing whether or not you're going to step into it and purchase it or not. So again, the viewpoint is huge. Stepping outside of yourself or stepping outside of a situation will help with this. You can almost view it like it's a movie. And what would your reaction be if the character Bob or whatever was going through this?
And bringing into the heart, you bring out compassion. And I love that, because we do always have choice. And it is in the choosing that we allow ourselves to release the guilt, release the judgments, be in compassion, and offer our true nature to ourselves and to others. And it's really, it is, for me, what makes the experience something that you can actually hold on to. Because I think you mentioned it, when the self-judgments come up, until you really resolve them, what's going to happen with them?
They're going to magnify. They're going to magnify, I tell you. I've created a new word right here. And when they do that, the self-talk kicks in. And sometimes it will stop you. And that's not fair. So would you say that to a friend? How would you approach it with a friend? Become your own best friend. And open the heart up and love you as you are. Because that's what the people that love you do. They're not asking you to change. They love you for you.
Yes, they're not asking you to be perfect.
No.
They're just asking you to be totally authentically you. And I love that. And I can't say enough about how I see all of these 5 things just kind of move into the next thing. And, from choice, you're looking at opening opportunities. And when you choose to sit in the positivity and the truth of who you are, and knowing that all you're trying to do is be the best that you can be, it does open up opportunities, doesn't it?
It opens it up. It removes the boxes and the ceilings that we put our...
Uh-oh, I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. No, I'm not hearing you. I don't know what happened. Did you hit something? Your mute button is not on. Your microphone just stopped, and you were into something so good. I know you were. Gosh. You know, it might be your connection. Is your connection good? Can you hear me? You can't hear me either? All right, let me see if it's on my side. I don't believe so. So Wendy, at the top menu, you'll see the thing that looks like a gradient, and it's the bandwidth adjustment. Maybe if you increase your bandwidth and make that adjustment, we'll get your sound back. It's right next to the video mute, between the video and the settings. No, nothing? You can't hear me. I'm telling you to do stuff and you can't hear me. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to send you a message in the chat box. So I said yes. Okay. In your settings. Just so it's the top menu bar. And while she's going through that to try and get her sound back, there
I've
you
got
are.
you. I don't know what happened.
Ah, great. Did you do anything with the bandwidth? Did you increase the bandwidth, or it just came back?
It came back. I went and clicked on it, but it popped back as I was clicking. So
Okay, okay. All right, well, great. You were into telling us about opening opportunities and heart and how the connection of choice flows through because of heart into opening our opportunities.
yes, and I'm going back to that, and I don't know exactly where it cut us off.
That's okay.
When we open our opportunities, we're opening the glass ceiling that we've created with a mask. It's like when we're in a dark room and you turn on a light, and then you can decide if you want to go out the door or crawl through a window, or if you want to sit down and build a sandcastle right where you are. You open up the opportunities by turning on the light. And so when you find more opportunities, then you give yourself more choices. And the deeper the choices go, and the more you can expand with the choices, it allows you to go further within life, within the direction that you choose to go.
And that is so key for especially women entrepreneurs. We have thoughts around, you know, I have to be better than the guy that has the same opportunities as me. I want to be this because that's what I want to be. Or I can't be that good because my parents said that women weren't supposed to do this. And, my teacher said that I would never amount to anything. And, you know, talk to us about how we can handle when those situations come up, because they no doubt will. Something happens when you're dealing with a client and, you're trying your best to make the not so positive situation better, but you still end up backing up and have a tendency to possibly roll back into some of those other thoughts. Give us some insight around that.
If we grab a hold of the mask of can't, the first time you hear yourself say, I can't do, turn around and say, I can do. Why can't you do? And with that, then you open the choices for yourself again. And if it's something physical and you physically are unable to move the boulder, you can still do it because you can get someone to do it and put it where you want it put. So you can still do it even if you're creative with what you're doing.
Love that. Totally do, because it takes me to my next thought about, because these things constantly come to us, the one bombarding thought next to, and then the other, or someone says something and then you get in your head and it's all, it's like a snowball rolling down a hill, and it just picks up, it gets louder. And even if you're, say, flipping the script and that's not what happens to you, you still have a tendency and want to keep your feet on solid ground. And there are days that you feel like you get knocked off your feet. So I love, and that made me think about your repeat. It's like every time you go through this, you want to repeat what you did before to get yourself out, to lift your energy to a higher level, to bring your vibration up. So tell us a little more about the repeat piece, because...
Let's back up a second and talk about the monkey chatter, is what I kind of like to call all those thoughts that just snowball and tumble, and you think you've survived one and then 5 more attack you. Yeah, we all have days like that. Something to help with those wonderful monkey chatter thoughts, and usually the monkey chatter is negative, is to set the intent to calm the mind and silence the monkey chatter. And you do that with what I call tub. You take the tip of your tongue and you place it on the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth and apply pressure. So it's tongue up and breathe. T-U-B. Tongue up and breathe. And yes, everyone's trying that now, and we can all feel the minds just go to ease. And all the thoughts that were racing vanish. It's a magical little gift of tub. And you can do it while you're doing dishes, while you're driving, while you're having an argument with your children, as long as you're not the one talking at the moment. And it calms you and allows you to see different opportunities within any situation.
Oh man, that's fabulous. Tub.
Yes.
Tell us what T-U-B is again.
Tongue up, breathe. Tongue up, breathe.
Yes. Many of us have the breathe thing, and that totally works, but the tongue up, to actually call the attention of that mind speaking to that point. Oh my gosh, what a great visual, and having practiced it, it's a great tool. Thank you for that. Wow.
When I learned and put that together in my own version, I made my entire jaw sore. So the monkey chatter is something I'm familiar with, and I've kicked it out the door. So yes, tub will help in many, many situations.
So you calm the talk of the monkey chatter, and then you speak the words that are positive. Is that what you're telling us?
Correct. When you calm that monkey chatter, which if you've ever stopped and really looked at the monkey chatter, it's usually telling you what you can't do and what you shouldn't do and what you gotta do instead of asking you what you want to do and giving you the options. It's trying to box you down and keep you limited. And so when you remove the monkey chatter mask, then you're able to choose for yourself what direction you want to go in. And usually it's a more of a heart level felt choice and choosing an opportunity.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, it really also makes me think about the fact that everything that you've talked about is a way of changing your emotional connection to some of these thoughts.
Absolutely.
And for business women, it occurs to me that, a lot of times we think, okay, let me just go bury myself in more work, which will change my emotional connection to something. Is that good or not?
How often does that work for you?
Therein lies the answer, right?
Chances are, while you're buried in work, you might be able to hide or stuff what's going on. But the minute you're done with the work and you go lay down to go to sleep, you can't go to sleep because, well, the monkey chatter's multiplied. While you had your mind busy not listening, the monkey chatter is just having a party at 1 in the morning, and you're laying there going, would you guys hush? So typically no. If you can find a way to step back out of the emotion of it, again, make it a movie. Act like it's not you. See it as you would if you went to the movie theaters. And I don't mean the tearjerker that you're sitting there crying with it, because I do that all the time. But look at it and go, what would I tell a client if that was happening to them? How could I help that person? Ask a question. And maybe the question is, what is the worst thing that could happen? Chances are it's not that bad. But then turn around and ask, what's the best thing that could happen? A question opens your opportunity. An answer closes the door. So make it a question. Don't allow it to close a door. And anytime someone appears to close a door, find a way to reopen. Lost me?
Oh, you're back now.
Okay. I saw you freeze, and I thought, okay, wait, I'm gone.
Yes, I saw you freeze and thought the same thing, but you're back. We're good. That's amazing. I love that. And I love it in the context of women entrepreneurs being able to really step back and make any situation that's been a negative situation that has drawn their emotion into it, attempting to attach to it, to really make it into a movie. That's a wonderful idea. I love that. Thinking, what would you tell your friend who was going through that situation? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely something to consider. Well, one of the things that you and I had spoken about not too long ago was, especially for business owners, the energy that's in words, the amount of energy, the power of the energy of words. And we've all heard the adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Wrong.
Exactly.
Totally. That is not true. We all know that words have the potential to do some major damage, or on the flip side, some major enhancing. And I think that's part of what you're talking about now. But I want to ask you, what are some of the words that business owners might speak that would actually give them the opportunity to increase the energetic flow and, in fact, open the flow of abundance into their business?
I would say gratitude. Heartfelt thanks. Because it's an ongoing flow, and when we can show gratitude and be grateful, then it seems to flow back toward us. So actually having a heartfelt thank you, if it's for a glass of water someone hands you, thank you. It may be the only thank you that person hears for the day. For me, I usually see the word thank you as more of a bless you, because I feel like the person is helping me in many ways, and I appreciate what they've done. So bless you. And it kind of adds a little bit of weight. I've watched smiles on faces with clerks that they weren't very happy prior, and I've watched them lighten their load and just overall feel better because someone actually noticed them instead of running in while talking on their cell phone, throwing cash at them or swiping a card, and grabbing a bag and running out the door where there's no true exchange or interaction taking place. But if you can honestly be thankful, even while paying, for what it is you've gotten and the person that's helping you, it flows back. And the feeling of gratitude and peace just seems to grow.
I love that. So thank you for services provided to you, being able to say thank you. Thank you for products being purchased by you when the cashier gives you your bag and they say thank you, you say thank you back. It's like a blessing. I love that.
Yes.
You know, the Asians have a tradition in Chinese and Japanese culture as well of giving their business card in a way that is actually like presenting a gift. And in presenting a gift of your business card, even something that we think is so, let's toss it, business card, to really have a heartfelt thank you when receiving it, does not only uplift your vibrational level, but it causes a swirl in the energy that actually allows positive things to be attracted to you.
Yes.
Now, if someone has issues with their own self-worth, how is that potentially blocking that kind of energetic flow?
Potentials with your own self-worth are either a partial blocker or a complete blocker, actually. Because if you don't feel worthy of receiving that box of $1 million at the door, then you might actually say, no, it's not mine. Or you might feel that the money is dirty in some way, therefore not receiving the gift that has been presented to you.
That's amazing. And you did go back to that exercise. I love that exercise. And I think that's key. You know, when I wrote my answers, my first response was, whoa, yes, yippee. And then I immediately went into the, are you for real? Seriously? Me? Are you sure? Really? Seriously? And then after all of that, I finally got to the, oh my God, really? Thank you. When actually I asked myself this question, what would it have felt like to just automatically say, wow, thank you.
To give yourself permission to receive it entirely?
Yes, entirely and first.
Yes.
And I wonder if that, and it probably is, I've watched a little bit too much Punk'd. Or had a couple too many pranks pulled. But, even then, it's easy to say, okay, you got me, versus to really recognize that you stepped up to this as a possibility and you received it with heart and gratitude and excitement, exuberance.
Yes.
Versus questioning where it came from and why you.
And if you
Oh,
go back to the exercise, and again, like you said, if you can just say thank you, and that's all that entered your mind, you were just excited and thankful, then your money flow energy is flowing quite well. If you said thank you and then the why me, where did it come from, who are you, blah, 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 kicks in, then you've got some partial mask running around that could be kicked out. Crumble them up and send them out in the trash and then move forward. But the energy will start to flow. If you come back with, it isn't mine, I can't take this, you must have the wrong person, then there's a good chance you've got a lot of mask and a lot of masks that you may not even be aware of, that identifying them and peeling them away one at a time will open the flow. And your flow may open 75% with the first mask. It might only open 10%. But if you keep repeating, you keep being aware, and you listen when the monkey chatter starts and going, is that a mask? I may not want that mask. You can leave now because I'm going to choose this instead of you. Then you're going to start opening the flow and allowing the money energy, the abundance energy, which is a whole lot more than just money, to flow in and around and surround and through you and your business.
so true, so true. And I love the way that you said that. Just allowing the money flow. Because again, a lot of people think that money is currency. Well, it is. However, before it became currency, it was something. And that's the thing that we lose sight of, that money actually is an energetic exchange of gratitude in a lot of instances. And or just, gratitude for the desire that I had being met. And especially women in business who are looking at, how can I increase the flow of money in my life? Is it just that simple as saying thank you? Well, I say thank you now. How might they shift a now thank you to a thank you that can, in fact, open up the opportunities for abundance to flow?
A quick way is whenever you are thanking someone, thank them from the heart, and then even in your mind, say, and let it return times 10.
Virus database has been updated.
But then have an idea of what that times 10 really is for you. If you've paid $10, then thank you and let it return times 10 is 100. And you'll start to watch the money start to flow back in. Even though you're using it, again, it is an energetic exchange. Let's look at the money mask that you brought up. And again, jot down your response. And there's no wrong answer, there's no right answer, it's just your answer. What is your definition of money? Write down your first response. Money is whatever we make money to be. So money is energy, and as you said, it's a receive that comes and goes. Now imagine for a moment that you're standing in a forest. Look at a large sturdy tree and identify how that tree makes you feel. The tree is very accepting and welcoming of you. The tree allows you to be yourself in every way without mask. It feels really good to be welcomed by this tree in the forest. You see the beauty, you hear the wind moving through the branches, you experience the energy of unconditional love and acceptance standing in this forest. Now let's jump back to the money. What is money made of? Paper. Yes, it's made of paper. And where does paper come from? Paper comes from the tree. So what if money that is made out of a tree is expressing unconditional love and acceptance as it is exchanged for goods and services? Feel, see, hear, and experience that shift that just occurred within you, within your mind, within your body, and your soul. Money of all things is a way of expressing unconditional love and acceptance. Now, as you pay and receive payment for products and services, the payment is an energetic exchange of gratitude, unconditional love, and acceptance. It feels good, smells good, looks good, and invites a warm experience throughout your body.
Wow. You know, I was talking to somebody and I said, I love money. And they looked at me as if I had lost my mind. And I felt compelled to explain myself. And it was something that really brought some awareness to me in that the way that I was communicating how I felt about money needed explanation. And you know, it's the whole thing about who do you associate with? And it made me think, because this was a longtime friend of mine, you know, where we were, where money was concerned. And she really didn't see money as an exchange of energy. And what she saw was something that she had learned from growing up about even the fact that rich people weren't too nice. She had some neighbors that were rich and or rich in her family's eyes, and they got talked about quite badly. And so they put us on a conversation of money, and I happened to make that statement. She like fell out of her chair. And I thought, oh my gosh, the way that I connected the dots on that was to bring up Amethyst Wildfires and Morgana Ray and how they talk about money. And Morgana Ray actually talks about money being her boyfriend, and how she could, in fact, love her boyfriend. Her boyfriend provided for her. Her boyfriend took care of her, treated her nicely when she went out to eat and shop and all of these things, not to mention the fact that when he gave her himself, she received that with the full and light of love. And she said some other things about it, but that was the bottom line that got me to that helped me to explain money. But for me, it was even a little bit more than that, because it was the energy of money. I'm a very energetic person, and I think that's what helps me to attract certain people and just show up in an air of not even realizing it, but people say you command the room and this and that. And I'm like, I'm just being me. I'm just here. I'm having a good time, but treating money very similarly in our business tends to be something that we separate. We can treat money like this when it's in our personal lives, and you know, we can be happy with money, but in our business it's something that's so serious, and I've got to make money, and I've got to, you know, keep my expenses down and that kind of thing. How do you bridge the gap between how you might feel from that personal standpoint as well as how you feel about money from that business standpoint? Because it is all the same, right?
Absolutely. But my first question would be, are you not part of your business? And if your personal life is your personal life, it's still part of your business too. So I would probably pull them all together instead of keeping them separate. Because when you separate things, then you can mask them and you can put them in a category versus being one. And truly, as women business owners, we are one with our business. We are one with our families. We are one with the man in our life, if we choose to have him in there. We are one with God. So when you pull it all together, money doesn't have to be a separate item. Money flows, and you allow it to flow and be playful and loving. Let it love you, and you love it. Your story I found unique because to me you picked up on your friend's mask of money.
Yeah.
because and you were able to walk the friend through what was going on and maybe a different viewpoint of loving money. Money, I mean, go hug a tree. You might be hugging money one day.
And I love that analogy. Um, I think for me, and it's really great to share these kind of stories too, because I recall hearing Jim Rohn talk about his relationship with money changing after one of his mentors asked him what his goal in life was. What's your goal in life? What do you want to do? Do you want to own a business? Do you want to do this? And Jim says, I want to be a millionaire. And his mentor said, wow, how much money do you have in the bank? He was like, $5. It's like, how much money do you have coming into your business? He's like, not enough. And it went on from there for him, his mentor, to say, you know, Jim, it's really amazing to have that kind of a goal. There's a lot of energy around that. But he said, I would ask you to consider to desire money, especially in huge amounts, not for what you can do with it, but for who you will become. And I think that that is something that many of us struggle with too. Who will I become if I have millions of dollars in the bank? Hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. You know, I just assume be a multi-hundredaire, you know, with $600,000-700,000 in the bank, and you know, a few $100,000 somewhere else, and you know, all these hundreds of thousands of dollars that I'm dealing with versus saying millions. It's okay. I'll go there for a while, and then I want to step up to the millions. But it is more of the, when you have the abundance of money, the large level of money that many of us dream about, I think it does go into the who you become. So can you kind of talk to us a little bit, and then I know you've got a little exercise for us, so I want to get to that because I think that this really ties into it. Can you talk to us about the who it is that you will become when you really have in mind, just like you're clear about your dreams, you're clear about money?
When you're clear, you are you. You step into, for me, your WAKOO. It's your truth, your knowledge, your wisdom, and your opening opportunities. For me, being a millionaire isn't necessarily about having the money sitting in the bank. Look at the lives that will be touched because the money is in the bank. Whether that's employees, whether that's spending it on purchased items or services, lives will be touched the more money that comes and goes. It's not about limiting. Again, it opens avenues and expands for us and all the people around us. It could be the dry cleaners. It could be the local grocery store. It could be a department store. You're helping the lives of the people that you touch based off what you do.
I love that because it truly is, when you have more, you can do more and do
Yes.
more to help more. And that is so key, especially for me. I'm so there, and I so appreciate being able to be in this space and time with you and having this conversation about money and the flow of abundance. And I know that you've got an exercise that you want to take us through. Tell us about it.
Very simply, and it will be a jump start for you to unmask, mask, and help you remove them and open your energetic money flows so that you can go into a process, you can sit back and relax, and you can release things whether you know what you're releasing or you don't know what you're releasing. So it's kind of like an energetic boost to get you along the journey of removing the mask to open the flow of abundance within and around your life and your business.
Well, take us through it. I love this.
Hopefully everyone's in a place that you can sit back and you can take a really big, deep breath. Hold that breath in for a moment and slowly release it. And as you take another deep breath, close your eyes. And as you release that breath, allow all the tension in your muscles to flow out of your body. Take another big, deep breath and feel the air filling your lungs, expanding your rib cage, and your body filled with oxygen. Now slowly release that deep breath. And as you do, close your eyes if you've not already done so. With our minds quiet, let's ask the universal divine powers to assist us in removing any known and unknown masks that are preventing us from living the abundant life that we are all blessed with. Feel, hear, and see your feet sliding into Mother Earth. Imagine the healing soil sliding up over your feet to your ankles. Your feet are comfortable and tingly from Mother Earth's nurturing. Now feel, hear, and see the bright, warm sunlight pouring down over your head, your shoulders, and body. Imagine that you can see and feel the bright sunlight warming and entering your body at the crown of your head. Feel the warmth slowly spreading through your head, surrounding your eyes, spreading through your jaws and down your neck, over your shoulders, and into your lungs and heart, down through your stomach and hips, all the way down your thighs and calves, and through your feet. Know that as the bright warm sunlight spreads throughout your body, that your body and energy field are cleansed from all known and unknown masks, allowing you to live your life of abundance. Take a deep breath, breathing in the energy of the warm, bright sunlight and the nurturing of Mother Earth, and release the breath and any and all mask from your being. Take another deep breath and feel the unconditional love and acceptance of the divine universe flow throughout your body. And as you release your breath, experience the flow of the divine universe, flowing in and around, swirling through you, and flowing into the earth. Take another deep breath and just enjoy that love. And as you release it, release any remaining mask. I'm going to count to 5, and when I reach the count of 5, you will open your eyes, feeling refreshed and relaxed and ready to continue with your day of abundance. 1, 2, 3, starting to wiggle and move. 4 and 5. You are awake, feeling refreshed and relaxed and ready for your day.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I actually felt the sunlight warm me up, and I started getting warm.
That's a wonderful thing.
Now, as we're bringing our show to a close today, I know that you're involved in a project that is actually a quite huge project. Do me a favor and tell our audience what it is and why you were interested in being involved in this.
I would love to. I am so blessed to be a co-author of the Permission to Be Powerful book, and I thank Lynn from my heart for pursuing the dream of creating a book and the Permission Movement. The Permission Movement has been created to reach out to touch the lives of women and young girls around the globe. I personally have 2 daughters of my own, and the Permission Movement is a way to reach young girls and women and help them identify their strengths and pursue their purpose in life, and they can start this really early along their journey in life instead of waiting until they're in their 40s like I did. The knowledge that the Permission to Be Powerful book and the Permission Movement will assist women. It will improve their current situation, and it's a gift that I've given myself permission to be loud and proud about. Thank you so much for following a dream.
Well, thank you. I think, that's what is so amazing to me about being in this space and time. There are so many wonderful women entrepreneurs who have, in fact, given themselves permission to be powerful, stand in their divine feminine, and do what they believe they have been called to this place, this plane, to do. And I'm just so grateful that the book opportunity has brought us together.
Yes.
I love what you have to share, and there's no better place than what's been created via the internet for us to get these messages out worldwide. And I thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, I just have one other question, and that is, what is the one thing that you want our audience to go away with today and remember that you've either shared with us or you just want to give a little boost and add to what you shared?
The one most important thing is that there are always opportunities. And within the opportunities, find the blessings. A lot of people see natural disasters and they see all the horrible things that happen. I ask that you look at the natural disasters and find something to be grateful for. Even if that grateful piece is that people were able to come together and work as a common unit helping one another. Because that gift of helping another and in that mass quantity actually helps the entire planet. And it helps people that are halfway around the world from it. Are there sad situations? Absolutely. But what are you going to look for? Are you going to look for the sad, or are you going to try and find something that's positive within it? Find the blessing and be grateful.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And I think it ties so beautifully into your message today about removing money judgments on others as well as on yourself, and being able to just bless them and opening up the flow of love and abundance for each of us. And we are the major contributors to the energy in the world, what's happening that's good, what's happening that's overcoming a lot of the plight that is out in the world today. And for those women out there in our audience today, I want you to know that I appreciate you and I bless you as well. Thank you for joining us today on the BIZ Info Zone show. This is the zone where savvy social entrepreneurs come to express your purpose, plan your next moves, and increase your profits. We air weekly on Thursdays, and sometimes we'll have a special like today. So just keep an eye out on the invites and join us. I want you to be able to connect with Wendy. So, Wendy, why don't you tell people how they can connect with you?
You can connect with me through my website, which is www.wakoowendy.com. And there's a contact tab there, or contact information. You can click on that. And if you would like, you can fill it in, and I will give you a 15-minute complimentary evaluation to see where your mask might be and help you take the first step to removing them.
Wow, what a gift. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I mentioned in your intro that you're an author. Tell us about the book that you've authored.
Well, I put together What If Peace on Earth is Possible. Oh, wait, I think you can see it.
Yeah.
It's a little gift that I have given. I do believe peace is possible. And I also believe it's in how we approach things and how we look at things. The book can be a conversation starter. It can very simply give you a new view and a new perspective on the world you've been living in. It can help guide you to take steps forward. It also will change and be slightly different for whatever space you're in at the time that you're reading it. So it's a little gift of love is what it really is, as I opened my journey to pursuing peace and walking in my own power.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you again for joining us today, Wendy. I so appreciate you. I appreciate all of the guests that I've had on our show so far. And if you would be interested in being a guest and being interviewed on our show, send an email to info@skyhawkenterprises.biz, and in the subject line, just put interested in being a BIZ Info Zone presenter. And we cover mindset, marketing, beliefs, motivation, money, doing business from and with heart, establishing rapport, speaking, writing a book. We're going to have a lot more conversation about writing your book. Ways to reach 6 and 7 figures, social entrepreneurship, which is something that's near and dear to my heart. So join us for the BIZ Info Zone show and join the BIZ Info Zone community by going to skyhawkenterprises.biz and click on BIZ Info Zone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. My name is V. Lynn Hawkins. I'm your host, and it has been a pleasure to have our guest on the show today and a pleasure to have you join us in the audience. Join us again next time, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.